What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy Slim here on my boy Team Samurai X1's channel. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for having me back on your channel. I'm here to do another awesome deck profile for my boy Sam. Here to profile a deck that he really wanted me to profile, and that is Lightsworn, more specifically Minerva Lightsworn. My boy Sam, he loves Lightsworn as much as I do. He unfortunately does not own a Minerva. I do, and I told him, you know what, I definitely want to feature this deck on your channel since he loves Lightsworn so much. He always uploads, without a doubt, probably one of the best, if not the best, Lightsworn decks every format on his channel, so I wanted to give him a Minerva version. Shout out to my boy Asian Persuasion, Johnny. He inspired me to play this build of Lightsworn. It's a 50 card build. It's pretty similar to the list I played at YCS Minneapolis. If you guys check out my channel, you guys will see I uploaded that list. It has changed to include some more like spicy text to have access to cards that we didn't have access to before. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into it. I hope you guys will like it. Smash that like button for my boy Sam and for me. And yeah, let's just get into it right now. So we are playing Minerva Lightsworn, and like I said, this is 50 cards. So let's get into it. For the Lightsworn, to start off the deck, we have, of course, 3 Raiden. Raiden is staple at 3 in every Lightsworn deck. It is without a doubt the best normal summon and the best Lightsworn in the deck. Milling 4 is amazing. You know, it's a tuner. It gets all your plays going. We combo that with 3 copies of Wolf and 2 copies of Felice. These are your main millers that you want to hit off Minerva. You gain a lot of value. You draw cards off Minerva. You special them. They make your rank 4s. They make your level 8 synchros. Really, really important. Felice's effect comes up every once in a while to pop a card in mill 3. It's pretty cool. Wolf being a 2100 beat stick is great too. For the rest of the Lightsworns, we play 2 copies of Lumina. I really like Lumina. It helps you get dead cards out of your hand. It also helps you make Michael, which is a really powerful synchro, and I feel that that alone, you know, is enough reason to play Lumina. Great card. We also play 2 copies of Lila, back row removal. Lila is really solid. When I played at YCS Minneapolis, I played a different version of this deck, but Lila was a single out to Jaugen. You can run over Jaugen, only has 1300 defense, then pop a back row, really solid card. Also, when you're playing against decks, that main deck, Secret Village of the Spellcasters is the Spellcaster, so you get right past it. And then for the one of Lightsworn, we just play 1 Garoth and 1 Baby Minerva. So the Garoth is basically there. If you combo it beside Lumina or beside Minerva, you draw a lot of cards. It's searchable by Rhoda. It's just a solid monster in general. In going forward, we won't be playing it, but it just was a really cool card for the time being. And then Baby Minerva, we play it because we play Brilliant Fusion. If you open the Brilliant Fusion Seraph Knight and this card in your hand, you can make it one of your normal summons, and you can make Cyframe Lord Omega with it, so it's really solid. Also, if you do get lucky and mill this card and mill like a Wolf or Felice off, it's awesome. So that's it for the Lightsworn version. For the Lightsworns of the deck. For the support cards, for like the really cool cards, my favorite card in the deck, 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier. We play Galaxy Soldier because we play like all light monsters. We get dead cards out of our hand and it helps us make Infinity. This card's amazing. You can also tribute over Seraph Knight as your additional normal summon if need be, if you draw multiple copies of it. Great card. If you soul charge it, you get its effect. Card's just amazing. Making Infinity wins games. We play, of course, 3 copies of Goblinberg. This is one of your main starter cards. Gets dead cards out of your hand, helps you get Felices and Wolves out of your hand, and helps you make either Minerva or a level 8 Synchro, so really, really great card, searchable by Rhoda as well. Also, combos with one of the cards we have in here to make Naturia Beast, which is awesome. Probably the best card in the deck, 3 copies of Fairy Tale Snow. This card is just insane. What it does for the deck is unreal. It creates OTKs, books problematic monsters, single-handedly beats Burning Abyss, and just, you know, it just gets you there. 1850 body, you just banish 7 cards from anywhere on the board. You can banish the Brilliant Fusion. The Seraph Knight has 2 cards for that, which is crazy by itself. And any of your dead spells or traps, or your spells, you just banish it. It's like a free summon, so the card is amazing. And also when it's normal summon at Book of Moons, so that's great. Probably the best card in the deck. For more support cards, we have 2 copies of Photon Thrasher. Really good to play around Max C, because this deck does have a hard time dealing with Max C. You can't really get to an end board where you can just stop, so you just really try to play through Max C. So you can summon this first, they don't Max C, you can summon another monster and make Minerva for free, so really, really good. We also have 2 copies of Trick Clown. It goes with the Brilliant Fusion, it goes with just milling in general. A very staple card for making rank 4s, so really good card. New additions, we put 2 Hat Tricker in here. The reason we put Hat Tricker, we are playing the 1 Glow Bulb, so that plus Glow Bulb makes Naturia Beast. A lot of decks can't deal with Naturia Beast turn 1 against Metal Foes, Pendulums, it just automatically wins, so great card in general. And also really good against ABC because you don't want them to get Union Hanger, so great card. And then unfortunately we do have to play 2 copies of Garnet, but we are playing Brilliant Fusion. We don't want to banish are, if we only played one, we don't want to banish the one Garnet off Desire, so Garnet is just unfortunately needed it. At 2, it's not necessary. It's a necessary evil. So that's it for like the main like monsters of the deck, and then for the hand traps, we are playing 2 Max C. Max C is just needed this format. ABCs, special summon a bunch. Every deck special summons a lot, you know, it just gets you there. And then, of course, the 1 Glow Up Bulb, because we do want to make Naturia Beast. It also gives us access to Trishula, so really solid card in general. Plus that extra mill sometimes can be really lucky. You can mill a wolf, so pretty cool. So yeah, so that's it for the monsters. It's a lot of monsters. I believe it's 34 monsters. But the way you cycle through this deck, you barely notice how big the deck is. So onto the spells. 3 copies of Brilliant Fusion. You start with this card. A lot of times you just win. Brilliant Fusion, being able to give you 2 normal summons is amazing. Being able to send, you can send Snow, you can send Wolf, you can send Trick Clown, and you can just get free monsters on the board to make Minerva, so it's great. 3 copies of Pot of Desires. Self-explanatory, cards Pot of Greed. You're playing 50 cards, you don't banish. You don't have those ratios of banishing, like everything you need. This deck has so many plays, and it doesn't really rely on its main deck. You're basically utilizing your extra deck to win the game. So for that reason, Pot of Desires is just amazing in this deck. 3 copies of Solar Recharge and 2 copies of Charge. Lightsworn, you know, you play these cards, they're really, really good. Opening with these cards is great. We also play 2 copies of Instant Fusion for Norden. Norden to get back any of our tuners to make our level 8s, or to get back one of our 4s to make our rank 4s, and mainly our Minerva, so solid card. And for the 1-ofs, we play 1 Soul Charge because it wins games. 1 copy of Rhoda to search out all our warriors, and 1 Foolish to dump anything we need to get our combos going. So that is it for the main deck, you guys. It is 50 cards. You may think that's too many cards, but trust me, when you start playing this, you'll see it flows really, really great for 50 cards. So now on to the extra deck. This deck basically centers around its extra deck, so all these cards are important. It was hard to really make room for everything, but we did manage. We cut the cards that weren't necessary, so I'll just get into it. So the heart and soul of the deck is the 1 Minerva. Now, I know the first thing you guys are going to say, well, I can't afford a Minerva. I totally understand. What you can play in this card's place is really hard to answer. I know that's the first question. You know, what do I play if I don't have Minerva? The only card that I know of that's kind of similar to Minerva is Bujin Tsukiyomi. Now, I know, unfortunately, that card has just spiked up to $25 due to ABCs, but it is probably the closest replacement to this card. Johnny had 2, so he played 2. What I played in place of the second one was a Trapeze Magician. If you don't have access to Minerva, and you're not, you know, if you build your deck not around Minerva, and you just build it around rank 4 spam, 2 cards you can play, like I said, are the Trapeze Magician, because you do play multiple spellcasters, and you can also try out Gagaga Samurai, a card that a lot of people kind of ignore. It does deal 3,800 damage when it attacks, if it attacks directly. Pretty solid card. I don't think a lot of people pay attention to that card, but it's definitely a rank 4 that you would want to try out if you don't have access to Minerva. But this really is the heart and soul of the deck. For the rest of the extra deck monsters, we play the 1 Seraph Knight for Brilliant Fusion, the 1 Norden for Instant Fusion, self-explanatory. Thanks to playing the Glow Up Bulb, we have access to Trishula. This card is amazing. 2 4s and a 1. You just make it. It wins games. I almost want to play Jet Synchron because of this card, because of how solid this is. So I really like this card a lot. Then, of course, we play 2 Omega. Omega is just necessary. Hit the cards in their hand. Just, you know, you make boards of Minerva, Infinity, double Omega. You just win the game. So really solid card in general. It's probably going to get hit to 1. 1 Michael for the 7. We don't play Black Rose. Michael's all you need. Michael's just an amazing card. Being able to banish any problematic card on the board just wins games, so really like it. If it hits the grave, you can gain life back, so I really like that. It also, you know, is another Lightsworn name. And then we do play the 1 Naturia Beast. This card was MVP in testing because of how solid it was. Going turn 1 Naturia Beast next to an Infinity and Minerva was just enough to win the game. You automatically beat Blue Eyes the majority of the time, because if they go Alternative Dragon for their free summon, you just snow it and you just win the game. So Naturia Beast just wins because they play a bunch of spells. You just negate them all. You mill for Naturia Beast. It just does everything you want it to do in the deck. And then for the Exceeds, we've got 1 Nova and 1 Infinity, self-explanatory with the Galaxy Soldiers. We would like to open this as much as possible. And then for the rank 4s, we play 1 Utopia and 1 Lightning. If I had room, I'd play a second target. Unfortunately, there's no room, but this comes up a lot. 1 Castel, because it just clears problematic cards and wins games. 1 Dweller, because there's a lot of graveyard cards still floating around. Dweller's just staple. And the 1 Emerald, because you're able to do 2 things with Emerald. You're able to recycle cards, draw a card, or you're able to special summon you're able to special summon Garnet from the grave. I know that sounds like a really weird play, but when you've got Snow for free, Garnet off Emerald, and Emerald on the board, that alone is like over 4,000 damage. 5,000 damage is enough to win the game. So yeah. So that is it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Please be sure to smash that like button for Sam and for me. If you guys want to go visit my channel, I'm sure Sam will have a link either in the description or somewhere in one of the annotations. Channel again is simply Sim Yugioh. Sam's a really good friend of mine. We just, you know, he likes to have me, you know, send him deck profiles of decks he can't profile. This was one that I just felt that I had to do him the homage of doing, since he loves the Lightsworns and always uploads probably the best Lightsworn deck. I felt that, you know, I have access to the Minerva. It's time to show it off and, you know, have a Lightsworn deck up here for his channel. Changes I made to the deck: I cut Judgment Dragon. Judgment Dragon is really good in theory. You do have ways to support it. However, it's just not necessary. I played the deck at YCS Minneapolis and I was maining 3 Judgment Dragons, and all I ever did with Judgment Dragon was summon it to run over problematic monsters, so its effect never really went off. If you want to be sacky, play that version. I think it's really good. Like I said, we made changes by cutting the Judgment Dragons and other cards to put in the Hat Trickers and the Glow Up Bulb to give access to Naturia Beast and Trishula, and it was just amazing. Like I said, this is like the best card in the deck, and all these other cards are just supporters. If you have these, play these. They're worth their weight in gold. You will not regret it. It's probably one of the best starter cards in the deck, in addition to the other ones I mentioned. And then this was just our Lightsworn engine. This is the most iffy one. If you don't want to play it, you don't have to. Same with this. They come up randomly, so they're just there. But all these other ones are pretty much staple. These are necessary evils, Felice and Wolf. You mill them off Minerva, you win, you draw them, you hopefully have Solar Recharge or a way to get them out of your hand, so that's why we play so many discard outlets. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Be sure to comment on anything you would change or any versions you'd like to see in the future. And be sure to continue to support my boy Sam, and be sure to check out my channel. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.